a little bit longer indeed, Lena, because we are expecting a warm up and plenty of sunshine, even though we are dealing with fog along the coast. We did see a little bit of drizzle produced from that fog over the weekend. Even this morning, we saw very dense fog along the coast. At the moment, again, just a little bit of it. And other than that, we are expecting, well, pretty sunny and clear conditions as we head into the next few days. So temperatures outside right now, pretty mild. Conditions outside right now, pretty clear with the exception of the coast, just dealing with a little bit of cloud cover there. And you'll see temperatures for the most part in the 60s. Downtown, you're currently at 65 degrees. The City of Commerce at 66. Heading over to Covina, you're at 66. Diamond Bar, you're also in the 60s this evening. San Bernardino at 67. And as we head over to Orange County, you're going to see temperatures into the mid to upper 60s this evening. So earlier today, we got up to about 74 degrees in downtown. Average is 82. Record temperatures 109 degrees. It didn't get anywhere close to that. And we're actually going to stay above average tomorrow, even though we were well below average today downtown, getting up to 84 degrees tomorrow. Remember, we only hit the 70s today. So big jump in temperatures tomorrow, and then things leveling off, at least for the next few days. Your weather headlines telling you a warm up in store. Above average temperatures expected pretty much across the board. Low clouds and fog along the coast because we're still going to see a little bit of that onshore flow. And then as we head into the weekend, low pressure replacing high pressure. What does that mean? A cool down as we head into the weekend. But until then, we're only warming up. And again, temperatures leveling off, maybe even warming a little more as we head into the later part of the week. But for now, downtown, you're getting up to 84 degrees. Santa Monica up to 74 tomorrow. Orange County into the 80s. Anaheim, you're at 86. Palmdale, 92. Riverside, 97. And finally, checking in with Woodland Hills. You're getting up to 95 degrees tomorrow afternoon. So pretty warm numbers for you. We're going to show you exactly what the rest of the week looks like in your 5-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Lena and Silver. It is. It's going to go away for the rest of the week. We're still hanging on to summer, at least for this week. But we are still hanging on to a little bit of fog along the coast. It's hanging on right here along the Santa Monica Bay. So as we head to the next few days, we're going to continue to see that onshore flow. And with that, we're going to continue to see a little bit of that marine layer. So you'll see that in that shot right there. You'll also see that earlier today. We got up to 74 degrees in downtown, which is far below average for this time of year. We are warming it up, though, as we head into tomorrow, back up into the 80s and back up above average. Over the next 24 hours, we're down into the 60s, mid-60s by the morning hours with low cloud cover, but we are expecting nothing but sunshine in the afternoon, maybe a cloud or two, but for the most part, we're expecting warm conditions and pretty clear conditions, especially in your inland spots. So again, above average temperatures, a little bit of low cloud cover along the coast with a cooler weekend on tap. So we're going to have more on that weekend forecast in your 5-day in just a minute, but you'll see highs tomorrow look like this. 84 in downtown, Anaheim 86, Riverside 97, Woodland Hills 95 degrees, and we are going with a little bit of fog first thing in the morning, even in the basin, even though some models are forecasting pretty clear conditions. You'll see right here, Futurecast set for 9:30 tomorrow morning. You're going to see mostly clear conditions in this model run by 11:15 or so, still dealing with pretty clear conditions, and that's going to continue on through about 2:45, 3 o'clock. Looks like we could see a return to that marine layer along the coast in the evening hours, as we still are looking at a little bit of that onshore push, just like we're seeing tonight. But really, other than that, we're expecting just warm conditions, and again, keeping things warm, clear, and dry over the next few days as high pressure continues to dominate in our forecast. You're going to see high pressure dominating over the next couple of days. With that, a warm up in store. And then as we head into the weekend, low pressure is going to replace that high pressure. And with that, we're expecting a bit of a cool down once we hit Saturday. Still talking average temperatures, but pretty much all week long, we're well above average for the basin in Orange County. Mid-80s tomorrow, so we're out of the 70s. Nothing but sunshine. Mid to upper 80s by Wednesday. Mid-80s continuing through Thursday, mid to upper 80s by Friday, maybe a little bit of low cloud cover by the end of the week, and then low pressure drops in by the weekend. We are expecting significantly cooler conditions. So again, around average still by Saturday, but I will tell you by the time we head to Sunday next week, we're expecting a bit of a cool down, which is appropriate since we are officially in fall. The beaches looking at pretty nice weather all week long. We're pretty much staying in the even the mid to upper 70s for the next few days. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
All right.
And a warm up in store for now, then a cool down. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, a lot of us are really excited for fall. We got maybe just a little taste of it.
Yeah,
Summer's
people
coming
are
back.
pulling out their sweaters and long sleeves, but put them aside for just a little bit, maybe.
It never got too warm this summer. We never had that really hot summer. So summer's just trying to, you know, pull through.
One last hurrah.
One last hurrah, exactly, before we cool down, because there is a cool down in store.
It's coming.
But not yet. It's going to be pretty warm for now. It's actually going to be quite warm, well above average over the next few days. So today we only, for example, got into the 70s in the basin. Tomorrow we're talking mid-80s, and that's already above average. We are dealing with a bit of fog along the coast. You'll see Long Beach dealing with a little bit of patchy fog. Same thing over the Santa Monica Bay as well. But other than that, we are expecting plenty of sunshine over the next few days with just a little bit of an onshore influence. So that's what's going to keep the low clouds and fog intact in the overnight and morning hours. Other than that, temperature is looking pretty mild out there tonight. Let's get a look at those numbers. You'll see right here at the broadcast center in Studio City, we're currently at 64 degrees as we check in with radar right now. We're dealing with pretty clear conditions. Temperatures, as we just mentioned, into the 60s this evening. As we head over to Arcadia, you're at 67 degrees. Covina, 66 degrees. San Bernardino also at 66. Laverne, you're at 65. So 60s for the most part this evening, with temperatures dipping into the low 60s. We're actually keeping it quite mild into the overnight hours. Fullerton at 66 this evening and Santa Ana at 65. So again, temperatures, as we just mentioned, into the 60s for the most part. Earlier today downtown, you got up to 74 degrees. Average is 82. So we were well below average for this time of year. And then we're going to keep temperatures above average pretty much for the rest of the week. Over the next 24 hours, that's certainly the case. 60s first thing in the morning, mid-60s a little later. Actually, that's into the overnight hours, but technically the morning hours. First thing tomorrow morning, waking up to mid-60s. And then by the afternoon, mid-80s. So we're already above average. Again, warming up all week long, keeping temperatures above average pretty much all week long as well. Low clouds and fog still a factor along the coast with that onshore push. And as we head into the weekend, low clouds and fog for everybody as low pressure starts to drop in. It's going to start to cool us down. Highs tomorrow, though, look like this. Downtown getting up to 84. Anaheim, you're getting up to 86. Woodland Hills up to 95. And Riverside up to 97. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, mid-90s all week. A very consistent forecast temperature-wise. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover by the end of the week, right before we see low pressure drop in. With that, a bit of a cool down. Very consistent in the basin in Orange County as well. You're going to see mid-80s pretty much all week long. A little more sunshine by Wednesday, by Saturday, a little cooler. As we check in with the coast this evening, again, very similar forecast pattern temperature-wise, and we're also expecting low cloud cover in the morning and the overnight hours. By the afternoon, a little more sunshine for you, but again, mid-70s all week long. We're pretty much calling it beach weather, 76 degrees, not too shabby for the coast this time of year. And then by Saturday into your weekend, we are expecting a bit of a cool down. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. Scary.
We're veterans out here. We still get scared like little kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's a scary thing because it's so much bigger than all of us. It's a scary thing, especially.
Okay, I cry like a little kid. I'm sorry.
He's afraid of the dark too, but don't tell anybody.
We won't say anything, I promise. Okay, I won't tell any of you. Rick's afraid of the dark.
Just between us.
Perfect day today, though. I got to tell you that.
As he changes the subject.
Yeah, of course, he's trying to change that. Let's talk about the weather, huh? Well, we will actually, and yes, it was a nice day today, but we are expecting a few changes along the way. In fact, temperatures warming up over the next few days. We were still below average today. You'll see right here, Long Beach, dealing with a little bit of cloud cover. Temperatures very mild tonight, even warm in some spots. San Bernardino, you're at 70. Riverside, 64. Burbank, you're at 67. Downtown at 65. And right here at the broadcast center in Studio City, we're at 64 degrees. So temperatures generally in the 60s this evening, really not getting below that 60-degree mark into the overnight hours. But by tomorrow, we are expecting a pretty nice warm-up. Temperatures earlier today got up to 74 degrees in downtown. That's well below average for this time of year. And, well, by tomorrow, we're going to be a few degrees above average, especially in the basin. Over the next 24 hours, we're down into the 60s, mid-60s by the morning, and by the afternoon, we're already talking mid-80s, which is a couple degrees above average. So we're warming up, as we just mentioned several times, above average temperatures. Low clouds and fog, that's still a factor mainly along the coast as that onshore flow continues to make a push into our forecast, and we are expecting a cooler weekend on tap as well. So before we get to your weekend forecast, I do want to show you highs tomorrow look like this. 84 in downtown, Anaheim 86, Riverside 97, Woodland Hills getting up to 95 degrees. So pretty much everybody warming up across the board. The beaches looking pretty good over the next few days, mid-70s, not too shabby for the coast. We could call it beach weather, especially when we start getting up to about 76 degrees. On Thursday and Friday, morning fog by the afternoon, a little more sunshine. And by the weekend, a little cooler, but we're still in the mid-70s by Saturday. Your next 5-day forecast, we want to show you right here for the valleys in the Inland Empire. Nothing but sunshine over the next couple of days, warming up over the next couple of days, mid-90s for you. By Thursday, temperatures really not changing much and really not fluctuating much through Friday. We're at 96 degrees, but take a look. Temperatures take a big dip, especially in our inland spots. As we head to Saturday, take a look at that 90s all week, and then all of a sudden, Saturday we're down to the 80s as low pressure continues to drop down to our forecast. And let's take a look at one more 5-day forecast. How about that? For the Basin in Orange County, mid-80s for you tomorrow. And as we head to Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. We're expecting temperatures into the mid to upper 80s, above average. By Thursday, we're going to continue to stay above average for this time of year. And frankly, we're above average through Saturday, even though we are cooling down the first part of the weekend. By Friday, a little warmer for you, 86 degrees. So it looks like Friday will be our warmest day of the week in the Basin. And then by Saturday, just a little bit of a cool down for you. So again, big temperature difference tomorrow. You're going to feel it. And then by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, things are going to feel much the same. But get ready for cooler temperatures once we hit the weekend. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
All right, thank you.
I've always wanted to pet a deer, but I've never been successful.
You can just
You know what? I think you can do that at.
a petting zoo.
Yeah.
I mean, in the wild.
You don't get out much, do you?
It takes away from it. You know, if it's a petting zoo, it's the challenge. Just
In the
isn't
wild?
there in the wild.
You want to pet a bear too?
No, please,
All right.
no, thank you. That is not on the bucket
I
list.
think you can go to the Pomona Fairgrounds, and when they have the fair,
Right.
you can go to the petting zoo and pet one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now I'll have to settle for that. I'll bring you guys with me. All right. Well, we're going to take you outside. How about that? And as we do, well, we're looking at a little bit of fog out there in the forecast, and that's going to be the case over the next few days. It's approaching the coastline, mixing out by the afternoon, and we are expecting, well, a little bit of a warm-up in store. So let's get to the forecast. And as we do, you're going to see temperatures out there this evening into the 60s for the most part. You'll see right here temperatures 65 for downtown, 65 in the City of Commerce. So again, 60s pretty much across the board, and we're really not getting below that 60-degree mark. 66 in Riverside, 63 in Paris, and as we head over to Orange County, we're looking at 60s in the forecast. So earlier today, we got up to 74. Average is 82, so we were well below average for this time of year. And by tomorrow, we're a couple degrees above average. So for those of you that like the warmer weather, it's certainly good news for you. You'll see 60s all through the overnight and morning hours. By the afternoon, mid-80s. So again, we're already warming up to above average pretty much across the board. As we head into tomorrow, low clouds and fog, that's going to be a factor over the next few days, mainly along the coast. And then as we head into the weekend, expecting a cool down pretty much across the board. Not the case tomorrow. 84 in downtown, Palmdale at 92, Woodland Hills 95, Riverside, you're one of our hot spots, getting up to 97 degrees. And the coast not doing so bad for this time of year. We're in the mid to upper 70s all week long. So looking at fog in the morning, by the afternoon, a little more sunshine for you, and well, a little cooler and a little cloudier as we head into the first part of your weekend and the rest of your weekend for that matter as well. Your next 5-day forecast showing you that same forecast pattern for the valleys in the Inland Empire. We're keeping temperatures warmer and pretty much the same all week long. 95, 95, 95 through Thursday. By Friday, maybe a degree warmer, maybe a little more cloud cover. And by Saturday, low pressure dropping in, and as a result, we're cooling down into the 80s. Back to you.
All righty.